Can we have some
Last time we had a demo before, and it's going to be there is no demo again going to repeat in this particular session. And hope everything is there in the demo. You can just follow the demo sessions. From there, we are going to start. So those who are new, you can just introduce yourself, like who are having already experience and who are the freshers in the sense like in terms of procurement or Ariba. So you please introduce yourself quickly and within 2 to 3 minutes you can start it. Okay. So I think you know about Radhesham already. In the demo session we had introduction. Please carry on. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate. Radhesham, over to you.
yes, yes. Guys,
Uh,
yes,
so
yes,
let
Ira,
us
you are
see,
saying.
like randomly I'll start. Like Lokesh,
Hmm.
and Lokesh, you have
Okay.
anything to say? Yeah,
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Iraz and Radhishan.
Hi, hi,
Uh,
hi, Lokesh.
my name is Lokesh. Basically, I'm from India. Right now, I'm in Canada. Just like 1 month ago, I had completed my supply chain management over here, and this is the first time I was into like SAP. I don't have prior experience before. And
yeah,
recently, after going through the demo session, I got a little bit idea, and after going through the materials as well, now I was thinking I was familiar with the basic terminology and everything.
great, 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 Lokesh. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Vaidehi, yeah, would you please say something about you? Vaidehi, I think. Vaidehi, can you hear us? Okay. Faisal,
Yes.
Faisal, if you want to say
Uh,
something, yeah, please.
yes. My name is Faisal. Having experience of more than 10 years in SAP, but not in Ariba and cloud, not in a cloud products as well. So after taking a demo from your side, I have decided to take the classes of Ariba, but I know a little about the supply chain and other modules of SAP.
Great, great, great. So meanwhile, you can say some one or two liner about your expectations also, guys, like to whom I'm going to ask. Faisal, I had a talk before, so that's not an issue. Pritesh, thank you, Faisal.
Yes, myself Pritesh Dev. I'm basically from Pune,
Thank you,
India.
Pritesh. Mm-hmm.
In demo session, I got overview of Ariba. I have two
Mm-hmm.
years of experience in SAP ABAP, but I need to enhance my skills in Ariba.
Great.
So I hope I am
Mhm.
getting new opportunities to start my career in Ariba along with this training session.
Great. We will definitely going to, make it the subject very interesting, and you can, avail the new opportunities which is coming in your career with respect to Ariba for sure. Thank you, Pritesh.
Okay.
I
Thank you,
think
sir.
Mini already is associated with us. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mini. Sahil Gupta.
Yeah, hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Sahil,
Yeah.
and I have more than, you can say, 15 years of experience uh, in production operations, and currently 2 to 3 years of experience in procurement. And I worked in India, I worked in France, and currently I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for opportunities in UAE, like Dubai. And for
Great.
procurement, my expectation is like I know one or two tools like Procuria. It is a small procurement tool, but I would
Mm-hmm.
like to go ahead and learn SAP Ariba to enhance my career as a consultant or as a end user. But that I will decide later.
Great. Great. Great, Sahil. Thank you. Uh, Aziz Mohammed.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
We
from
are good.
Hyderabad.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and presently I'm in Saudi Arabia. I'm working as a procurement engineer in
Okay.
Oracle. SAP Arabia is first time to start my career.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah,
It, you're working in procurement.
procurement SAP,
Services.
Oracle Fusion.
Okay, great. Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
going to be very much similarities are going to be there conceptually. but GUI part and other approaches are going to be little different. So that would be much easier for you and going to be very interesting for you, Mohammed. Thank you. Yeah, I think Pravina. Yeah, Pravina, we know already. Do you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
great. Uh, but anyways, I just you can introduce yourself for the team also, for Mini also, which you can introduce later on. I'll just quickly go through with Naveed. Naveed Ahmed. Okay, no problem. I think his mic is not. Prem, you want to say something about yourself?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
currently
Prem.
working as an SAP consultant as a BPC consultant.
Oh, okay, then it's really going to be for you as well.
SAP BPC
Great,
consultant and looking for the change in technology for Ariba.
great.
I
Thank you,
am
Prem.
from Hyderabad
Fine.
location.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you
Yes,
so
I
much.
missed
Uh,
the early conversation. Starting of the recording. Can I know
oh,
please your profile? Sorry if I am not wrong.
have you attended our demo session already?
No, this is my first session.
Oh, this is going to be your first session. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So Sana is going to share you the demo session in which you can go through the all the details. But briefly, I'm just saying like Radhesham is having more than 17, 18 years of experience in a procurement domain.
Okay.
Okay, he has
Okay.
having vast experience in implementation, rollouts, support, a lot of other activities, even internal
Please.
projects with his company as well as some of the projects he's dealing with us as well. And apart from his implementation knowledge, he is also very good in the mentoring people. Okay, so we have completed almost 95 batches so far. Customizing every batch is approximately 10 to 15 participants. Okay, so you'll be getting
Okay.
complete in-depth kind of training, and everything is going to be very supportive during this course of training. Okay, yeah, all right, Prem.
Yes.
So
Okay.
for the
Okay.
detail thing, you
Post
can even
post the
call
session.
me, or yeah, you call me.
Yes.
I can give you
Okay.
more brief
Okay.
on that one, and also I will share the previous session recordings as well. Okay,
I
great,
think for me
fine.
a contact number I have got it. Sana contact number I'm having.
Sana is there. Yes. I'll be giving my number as well, so not an issue. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, so fine then. So Mini, can you just introduce to the team so that everybody will also get to know?
Sir, I want to know that we'll be having a WhatsApp group, no?
Yes, you'll be there in this group as well. No worries. Okay, Mini.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So you just introduce
okay.
yourself.
My name is Minnie. I am currently in Dubai, UAE, and
Hmm.
I have experience as an end user for SAP and Ariba.
Great. Thank you. Pravina, can you just tell you're the
Sure,
next one? Because now
sure.
I think most of the participants already in.
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Prabina. I'm based out in US. I had an experience with an SAP FICO module in the past, and I moved to product management. Now I want to come back to SAP functional, and I work with SAP Ariba as a completely end user. I want to know the nitty gritty details now as a technical functional. Thank you.
Great, Pravina. Thanks so much. Appreciate. So I think every one of you are done. I think Prashant Srini, yeah, if you want to say something, or we can start, Radhesha. That would be more easy, right? So we'll start the session. That would be better
Yes,
actually. Yeah, if everybody is joined.
yes. Thank you guys for your introduction. So at least we got the idea about what experience you have and what other your team members also, because there is a different backgrounds experience you have. Might be Ariba is like all together first, but in terms of integrations we required BAPR also, base system also, and in terms of FICO consultant also, because there is a transitions level configuration we have to do. So there is a teamwork, and if you have that kind of background and you want Ariba for the end-to-end integration, you should at least understand what means what is the requirement for that. And in terms of functional point of view, now we have 2 3 different points where Ariba will work. So we are going to learn step by step. So basically we'll start with the sourcing module. So why sourcing? Because our requirement will start with the sourcing. uh, whenever there is a procurement word comes, so it will start with your requirement, PR, purchase requisition. So we have to understand the different modules like P2O order. What is the P2O cycle? Means procure to order cycle. So from PR, how it will convert into RFQ, and then how in Ariba we will going to take that. So at least you'll understand how the things are going here. So in depth, whatever trainings we will provide you, whatever the knowledge we will share, along with that we'll share you the documents also, we'll share some recordings also, some pre-recorded sessions also we have. And in terms of your for interview preparation, we will help. Sometimes we will give you some key points which people don't know what we have to mention in CV, and how we are going to do that kind of things. So here we will provide all kind of support to you guys. And starting with the sourcing, will following to the second module will always took SLP, because uh, that should be a connected. Then my colleague also, Akshay, will also take a contract and guided buying in later on, once we complete our upstream and upstream two modules, sourcing and SLP. Then we will come with the CIG part for the integrations, like SLP integration and supply chain collaboration and commerce automation. Both are PO collaboration will do maximally. So here we are today we are starting with the sourcing module. That is our first module where we are going to start. And going ahead, if you have any issue in terms of any doubt, or so don't wait for the sessions will end and then you want to ask. You can stop me and you can directly ask, because these the whatever sessions we are going to conduct, that is interactive sessions. So we will discuss whatever the points. If you have knowledge about any point or you have any issue, we will going to discuss that. Okay. So I see all few peoples are fresher. So my suggestion, you guys can learn about the procurement cycles. What are the those PRPO? You can understand those things, invoicing, GRN. So you can learn from Google, or you can take a some documents from your colleagues also, because that initial understanding will not going to share those. Whatever it is related with the Ariba, we are going to tell you. So basic background about procurement you might be learn from some other sources, or you can also Google it. You'll get the idea about what is the PR, what is the PO, invoice, GRN, because those are transitions which are we are going to discuss later on. So first we are going to understand what is the P2O cycle, procure to order cycle. So our PR, actually we don't have that system from where the PR will be create, and what things will be happening in backend ERP. But we are going to provide you some documents where at least you will get the idea about integration scenario. So integration and non-integration scenario we have. So this is non-integrated scenario which we are going to discuss. But just one part is pending for integration, that is your PR. How your PR will be created in S4, and that PR will be converted into RFQ in SAP. So that is called quote automation for converging. So that is the integration starting from there. So your RFQ will be sent as a sourcing request here. So we have sourcing request, sourcing project. So also we can create a standalone sourcing request from here, sourcing project also here. But whenever it is about integrated, so here we have to search that in a sourcing request. So that sourcing request will be, you will receive here from ERP, and you will see this is the this kind of sourcing request document number will be generated, and from here you will going to create a sourcing project for that. So that is an integrated module. So you will whenever I'm talking about the project means you are going to create RFP auctions, so that you are going to create. And whenever you have to finalize, you are going to award. You will create scenario, and then you are going to award that. So whenever you are award, it means here you have option to say that I want to create a PO now. Then you have to send those information to backend ERP. So you will get the that options will be enabled. Otherwise that remains in system. So we have that kind of status, how we are going to monitor these things. So this is your dashboard actually. First we'll go with the understanding of dashboard. how things we are going to configure here. So this is my document wherever you are working on any module or any document. So this is for sourcing, this is for a supplier, this is new tab also. You can create, you can select from here in procurement related, invoicing related, you'll see this dashboard. So here you have my documents. So under this my document,
Radhisha, quick
yeah, yeah,
question. Sorry.
yeah.
Could you help a little bit explain about how an RFQ from ERP sent to Ariba and how does it look when it comes to Ariba?
Okay, so that document I'll share with you separately, because that is like a integrated scenario, and it will contain some clients information. So that's why we will not share here, but I'll share you some SAP standard cycle in documents that I'll prepare and I'll share. I'll keep in I'll prepare that document for you, because I have to take some screenshot for that, and that document is already there, but there is some client information, so we don't want to share with, means client
Got it.
information means some
Got it.
other
Yeah,
systems we have.
sure. Got
So
it.
this is a test realm actually, and that should be a test for other things. So we cannot share those details, but cycle wise I'll share some documents, because what cycles we are going to follow, what documents we have to follow, and even we already shared some documents in Drive where you have these integrations related activity. What are these things? So I think you have that document, Pravina, where I have shown CIG training. So there that document is there also. But later on I'll show you what documents
You
I'm talking.
mean the CIG config PDF,
Mm,
Radhisha?
No, no, not that one. There is a 5-day training document for CIG. That is separate document.
Okay.
If you remember, I have shown you in our one of session where we have CIG training documents for 5 days. There is a sourcing related activity also we have, for commerce automation also, SLP related also we have. If you remember that document, one second, let me unshare my screen and let me check what is the document name. Sorry. Mm, that document, one second. CIG buy side training. That is document name. You can check in that folder.
Sure. I'm
Yeah.
checking, Radhisha.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah. CIG buy side training. So there we have that screenshot also. I'll also will show you whenever it will come to the integration part. So in terms of sourcing, this is your dashboard where you have these my documents, and if you see there is a different events we have created. So if you see this is RFP related, so here it is also showing RFP. So this is your one of auction document. So this is a full project cycle. So we have created uh, quick project also and full project cycle also. Here if you see this is auction, so these auctions we have completed. So this kind of your documents will be managed here. And if you see this event status, this is for 12 months. And how to understand these things, here if you see RFI means request for information, RFP means request for proposal, auction means your auctions, what are a reverse auction, Dutch auction you are going to create. This is a survey document, it is related with the any kind of you have some surveys we will float in terms of a modular questionnaire or other things, so that will be here. And this forward auction, if you see forward auction, it is for your scrap selling, if you have any surplus material which you want to sell. So all this RFI RFP auction strategy will be downward bidding. So where whenever we are buying some material from any suppliers, we try to reduce the pricing. So for that reason, it is always a downward bidding. But whenever we have some scrap and we want to sell that, so we want to earn some money, so that is called forward bidding. So that is upward bidding format. So downward and upward bidding format, how we are going to create this kind of concept, where is we are going to create our formula test, like we are going to create sections, questions, and our formula, so that we will learn. And that time how we are going to understand how these things will be, we are going to actually configure as a downward bidding and upward bidding. So these rules how where we are going to select. So if you select wrong options there, if you select in reverse options, you are selected for upward bidding, so it means whenever you are going to buy something, supplier will not decrease the price, supplier will going to increase the price. So that is a wrong concept. So at least as a functional point of view, you should know what is the concept of reverse auctions, what is the concept of RFP, downward bidding, upward bidding. So that is important thing that we are going to learn here. Everyone can create events, that is end user work. So that should be like you are going to come here, you are going to create event, you have pre-configured templates. So that's not your job as a functional. You should know what is the key concept it is required. When I'm seeing any events, there is a lot many fields, lot many questions, lot many formulas have created. So that is our job, how we are going to create that, how things work for Ariba, and what is the framework, what things we can modify from our side, what things we have to modify from the SAP side, and how we are going to enable those things. So that is a functional work. So going ahead, whenever we will discuss, there is a template configurations also, and within what things we can do and what things we require help from SAP for that reasons, whenever we have to enable some things. So at least you should understand. So these are the like concept what we are going to RFI RFP auctions we are going to discuss now. In terms of RFI, if you
Hi,
see,
I'm unable to hear anything actually.
anyone else have facing some issue, same issue? Hello.
No,
No.
we are able to
No,
hear you.
no, no.
Hello, who have
No,
issue
we are
then?
able to hear with you very clearly. I think Prashant,
uh,
sorry, just now who is the person who is saying? Sorry, I missed your voice.
yes, even I have miss in private
This
here.
session recorded. Yes, Prashant, all the sessions are going to be recorded. Indeed, like this session is also getting recorded. So guys, whoever are having any issues, you can please, try to check your network. We have a proper network and our voice is very loud and clear. It's audible to everyone. Yeah, please, Radheshami, please continue. And you please ping me in the chat window if you are having any issues. I can assist you. Yeah, thank you.
So guys, if you see, we have some status here, like draft, preview, open, pending selection, completed. What it means of draft, what is meant by preview, open, pending selection, and completed. So whenever we are going to start with any things, it should always in draft. So we are going to prepare the documents or any event, so that should be in draft. Once you publish that event but yet not started, so that phase is called preview. So I have published my event, but uh, it's going to start after 1 hour or 2 hours. So whatever in duration, that status we call preview of that particular event. Open means it is started, so whatever duration you have set, like 1 day or 2 days or 7 day, so that time you will see the status of that event should be open, and the time you will see what timing remaining for the end of that particular event. So whether it is RFI, whether it is RFP, whether it is auction, whether it is survey, whether it is forward auction. So we have all five phases we have here. Okay. So that is draft, preview, open, pending, selection. So what means pending selection? So pending selection means your time has been over, but you haven't taken any action, like you haven't awarded that, you haven't created PO, you haven't canceled that event. So it means that time has been over and you haven't take any action. So if you have any what actions you have to take, either you are going to divide that order with suppliers and you want to create a PO for that reason. So whenever we do the synchronization, so whenever we'll send that code to external system, means our awarding scenario we are going to like we are going to award that scenario. So that before that it is always in pending selections. What it means by completed means either you have awarded or either you have cancelled that event. So in it doesn't mean all 333 events you have awarded. It doesn't mean 194 events you have completed by awarding. So might be some events you have cancelled also. So we don't have any other status for completed. It is always either that event has been awarded or that has been cancelled. If you go and click on that any status, you will see this kind of auction event, RFI, RFP. So here this is status is completed, but when you will enter here, you will see this is showing completed. It means that has been awarded. So here if you see this scenario has been awarded by 100%. Okay, so it means whenever it has been awarded, so that's why it is showing completed. If it is there is something has been cancelled or that has been anyone have mistakenly created or some issues will be happen there. If it is not, see this is also awarded. So like this one, it has been completed. So these kind of scenario you'll see where you have these 12 month of event calendar you'll see. So here all the events you are going to monitor from here. Also you can click here. As an admin you have roles, some authorization will be provided, and what are those authorizations, why it is required. So that even we are going to understand what roles you required as a functional consultant. Okay, first we'll understand the dashboard. Now you'll see there is some to do and some action point are new. So might be you have to review some documents. There is some approval related documents will be. If you see I have some documents which I have to approve here, so I approved that. These documents I have to review. So this category status for RK info I have to review. So it means I have to some action point on me in approval, not started in approval. So these are your to do tasks. So we have tasks which will be assigned to your team members also whenever we are going to create any event or any questionnaire for suppliers. So we will assign some tasks to that. So that is important. What are those tasks? What is to do task? What is review task? What is signature? What are other tasks we have? What is phase? And how we are going to create those things. So on templates we are going to learn this, and we will how to act on this to do task. So that also. Then these are some project analysis where you have some reports or pre-packaged reports also you'll see. And from pre-packaged reports how we are going to create our public reports. If you see pre-packaged reports we have. So in terms of your reporting also, these things we have. Public reports, that means you can schedule for months, quarterly or fortnightly also. It is based on your supplier related information, whether it is event related, whether it is you want some spend analysis reports where you can see the buyer level information. You will see commodity related information also. So it depends. So what reports you have to fetch. So we have some prepackaged reports. Just need to you have to configure those things, and then you have to schedule that things. So that also we are going to learn. Here we have templates also. Okay, so these are some common action from where we are going to create events. So before starting this, I just want to show you how things will be work for any what roles you required for creation the events. Okay, one second, let me stop sharing. Okay, so whenever you will enter in any new projects like from sourcing, when it start with the scratch, so what things we have to look into, we have to collect some data, we have to discuss some strategies with the client, you have to understand what is their existing process and how we are going to start with. So whenever you have to collect some data. So Ariba has some format, so that is called your sourcing data collection template. So that needs to be understand how those things will be happening whenever you are working on any module, like whether it is integrated, whether it is non-integrated. But when you are interacting with your client, you have to get some data from there. So that for that data there is a format. So from Ariba side, what those format, and for that reason we required this workbook enablement sheet, where we will collect some, if you see there is a data relation collection form, some header related, this is a process designing related, this is a template related designing. So these options we have. As a functional we will understand these few things, and then in depth we will later on you will understand what is I'm talking about. First you can just understand what is the formats and why it is important. In terms of like whenever we'll start our project initials things, we have to.
Radhesham, quick question
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the sourcing process design metrics. What kind of a questions do we need to ask
So
typically?
basically, it is always when we will go there and will have that as is process, we will understand what is their current process of like sourcing. So we'll see how they are going to create PR, how they are going to send those information to supplier, how their comparison sheet will they are doing, how their supplier selections are there, and what are the important factors in in negotiation, and how their formula, what are the formulas for their calculation, how they are taking those things, and how their approval process is working, like though they are doing manually those things. But always there is a signing process, some documents they will sign before floating inquiry, or like they have to collect some quotation. Before that they take some budget approvals also, what is the budget for that, manually all these things will be manual. So you have to understand how things are working for them, and then you will understand this is their process. And you have to took like in Ariba how we are going to merge these things, because whenever you complete as is you have to show the to be for them. So you have to flow the diagrams, and you'll see there is a lot many things. First they will go, they'll shortlist their suppliers, their suppliers analysis is going on, then they are going to manually prepare the line items, and then quantity for that they took proper approval before floating the inquiry. And then they will whatever the line items they have decided, quantity they have decided, delivery date they have decided. So for that also we have to understand this process, and then only they will floating the inquiry, they will send manual email to suppliers. Supplier will say share the quotation with them in different formats. So what is their next task? So whenever they receive the quotations they have to create a comparative sheet. So here in Ariba you have already comparison sheet that no needs to create separately, because whatever events you have created, that only you will download from the these comparison sheets. So then they taking formal approval for negotiations also. They will analysis that reports, and then finalize with the that things that they have to go with the technical approval and commercial approval, and then they go for the negotiation purpose. And whenever they finalize the order, then they go for the like PO creation. So these are P2O cycles there manually. So same process we have to do into Ariba. So it start with the PRPO, means PR. So that process not going to change, because they're already creating PR, we are not going to touch. But PR to RFQ conversion, that needs to be done from our side. So that is a quote automation configuration. So that one thing we have done. Now when it is reached to your Ariba, so from that you are going to create a sourcing project. So before starting the sourcing project, you should know how many suppliers you have that needs to be invited, that minimum status, what is the minimum status for that supplier, that should be configured. Then you are going to create a line item, so that already it is coming from PR only, so no need to create line item, you just need to add those line item to your event. Simple, all things has been there, like your delivery date is there, your quantity also there, you no need to edit those things from whenever it comes from the ERP side. You just need to add those line items, so that needs to be added. Then you will select the suppliers, then you will add your team members to whom you have to add for the approval process, review process. So that needs to be done. Even that we also doing on full project cycles, it is already configured on template basis. So again that need we will bypass when we create the templates. And once we float the that RFI or RFP or auction. So that time you just need to monitor those things. So supplier will respond, you will see what is the quotation we are coming. Then when its time has been over, we are monitoring. So that process is already there, your comparison sheet is already there, you just need to take a approval. That, so approval process also you are going to digitalize, so that reduce the cycle time of that particular events. And then you take the proper approval and you should start the negotiation. Either you'll create a new round of RFP, or you'll go for the auctions also. Sometimes they want to discuss that negotiation on manual basis, you can also do that kind of activity. But whatever they have manually decided, later on you can create one more event and you'll tell that your suppliers, whatever we have discussed, that price you have to submit here. So for that reason we will create one more round of event RFP, and we'll close, then we will award, and that PO will be created. So everything will be recorded on your system. So Ariba have that kind of all these things we have already, whatever your client is asking. But now, in terms of when we start this kind of activity, you require commodities, you require suppliers, you require your users, you require your data for that. What is the plant, what is the account group, what is their company code. So everything we required when we working on any integration project. So for that reason we have this kind of template, where we will collect information, that is called enablement of workbook enablement sheet simply. So here if you see whatever the regions you have, if you have that things you have to configure, you will take. Otherwise Ariba specified UNSSP we have already, but it requires their own departments. You have sales department, you have IT department, you have accounting department. So all these department, you have some department ID also, you can create client specific. Otherwise we have this default templates like department, so that is Ariba related. But client have different department number, same P1 P2 P3 P4. If you have that kind of things, you can configure here. Commodity code, this is important one, because whatever Ariba have, that is under this UNSPC. But your client have custom commodity code, so might be they have different commodities for IT, different commodities. So whatever commodity code and commodity name we have to upload here, and commodity code mapping, so that commodity code mapping we have to do here. So that needs to be configured in this format. So Ariba will help you to upload this unit of measures, because might be you are using matrix, they are using something else. So that kind of things in Ariba also we have this format. You just need to apply this for unit of measure. You have standard Ariba related, there is all numbers, kg, pounds, everything will be there. But in terms of this code, because whenever it will come, each might be your client is using each EA, it is not using EA, so they are using different code. So that time you have to upload your unit of measures also. For that reasons you have the options here. From here this you can upload. Also you can separately, you can also upload later on if you want to update later on. Currency conversion, how might be you are using different currencies, so that reason enterprises users, so you'll create your users also. Like you have commodity manager, junior sourcing agent, what is this role means, why this junior sourcing agent is important, what is the license users, what are the uh, team members roles we are going to learn. So this is your event related, we'll discuss directly. These are the users
One
roles.
second.
Yeah,
Radhesham, I think somebody is raising the hand.
yeah.
Faisal, you have any queries? You have raised your hand. If
Yeah,
you are having any queries, you can
yeah.
directly unmute and you can ask. Yeah, not an issue.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. So, okay, thanks. So rather, one quick question: all these templates you have shown, I think, for sourcing and spending and other areas. So, for this particular one, say for sourcing, like, where are you getting these templates from? Are these part of the standard SAP templates, or these are your own?
No, no, no. This is the standard template for Ariba. Whenever you'll start, you'll involve in any project, SAP will share this template format with you. They will ask you to collect these kind of information. If your client wants to update their commodity code later on, so you can skip this step. But if they want to update their region, department, then unit of major, and then these license version, enterprises users they want to create. So initially you can create these kind of things. So in bulk you are going to create this. Whenever you are uploading this data, it means in Ariba they are loading upload this data should be in bulk. So so that that's why we
Yeah.
require this kind of format. So
Sorry,
it is for
what I mean,
productionized.
yeah, what I mean is this a template that's probably from your Activate methodology, for example, or is it this is a form that we are uploading? It looks like this is a part of the requirement gathering session, right?
Yes, yes, requirement gathering session. So this is called activate methodology, when we will start with the initial realization phase. So
Mm.
sorry, not realization, the data collection phase. So that
Okay.
time we require this thing, this format. So under that
So
we
this
have, as
template is sorry, this template is already there for us. It's already provided, right? And we are simply using this.
yes, yes, by SCP only. Whenever your kickoff meeting will be done, na, that time they will share the data to collect, and they also explain to client what the requirement initially they want, and also from your side they will ask you to fill up those information. Let them explain you, because you should understand what is this form, and once they shared with you. So this format is not going to change. So I have keep. I know this is format only. So I'll share every time whenever data it is related with the client. I'm going here and I'll check what is the information client said I get. I'll update here and I'll share to SCP. You can just upload this in bulk. This is the data I want to upload initially. So this is the, like, you will take initially. If your client is not sharing, they want to upload later also, that is fine. But if you get the information client from client unit of major region department plant everything, and then, because that needs to be like, you have to understand what is the default fields and what are we required from customization point. I'll explain you, so you'll understand what, when we enter in any project, what things we have to keep in mind as a functional consultant. And then we'll start with the activity of creating templates, events, and that is later part. But you should interacting with the client. We are going to discuss end-to-end scenario. So what is the end-to-end? So this is your starting points. These are your initial steps which we are following. Okay, yet not we have started the Ariba auctions and all this thing. We are going to understand what are these things, what prerequisites we have to follow. Okay, and what are the system requirement, what are these things, you'll understand from here only. In
Okay, so
terms
this
of,
is more like the discover or the explore phase, I think, right? That's
yes, yes, data analysis, initial data analysis, this is called as is process. So that is your
okay.
activate methodology you are going to follow.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone have any issue, other any, like, be, but like, be frankly, you can ask anything, like, it might it be wrong, let's discuss that things. You can ask any kind of questions. Okay, and if you have any doubt, like if you don't understand this and still you can tell me. So if you haven't but later on when you will be part of any team members, like you going ahead, you are going to work in any project, that time you realize this is the point which we have already discussed. So this is our initial starting phase. Though you are a fresher and you didn't understand what I'm talking trying to say you, but later on when you enter in a project, then that time you'll understand this is steps which we have required to understand. So no one will tell you why this users roles is important. Who will going to explain you how to read these things? Like if you see, I have this commodity manager, and what things commodity manager is doing here, it is X. So he is going to create projects and full project of sourcing, full projects and quick projects we have. So how we are going to create, who have access to create events? So if you see, commodity manager, junior sourcing agent, sourcing agent, sourcing approver, sourcing manager, only they have the access. Your customer manager have access to create the full projects. Other team members don't have access to create a event. So what roles you have to provide whenever in terms of, if you want to create an event, that time you have to create provide this junior sourcing agent role. Okay, so they can create commodity manager roles accessing, have they have other access also. If you providing them commodity manager, it means it is a publish and own without approval. So commodity manager don't require to approve. He can also approve his own, means without approval he can publish the events. But in terms of sourcing agent, they required approval. If you see, junior sourcing agent cannot publish their events, so they required approval from commodity manager. So that kind of events, so you have to understand what is the business user's role. If it is a junior, he just need to create events, that time you are going to provide a junior sourcing agent, because they just want to create an event, not to publish, not to review, not to approve. So that time you will just provide them junior sourcing agent role. So they will create event, they will add line items, everything, and they will send to further approval process. So that is junior sourcing agent can do that kind of activity. So here if you see what are the publish, how they are going to require approvals, approve and publish event without by junior sourcing agent. Now see, whatever events has been created by junior sourcing agent, commodity manager or either sourcing approver can approve, or directly you will see customer admin. A customer admin is unique role. So this is if you see all authorization here, whatever above task has been provided means roles we have, every access this customer admin have. So you are a functional consultant, you should be the customer admin. So you need all these accesses. So for that reason you should be take this customer admin. Then you are going to create templates. For that reason you required also surrogate bidder also, that we'll discuss later on what is these roles. But now there is a one questions, how can I understand what is the license version, how many license I'll get initially when I'm working on any sourcing module or SLP or commerce automation, supply chain collaboration, guided contract management, how these roles will be decided, and what are the users license and what are the team member license. So if you see, this is the licensing part. So here commodity manager considering as a license, this junior sourcing agent is also licensed version, sourcing agent is also, sourcing manager is a team member role, but your project administrator is user license. This is your mass project edit also user license, this customer admin also user license, and this team means team member roles. Okay, so this license if you provide any users, any role, any one role or five roles, it will consume one license per user. Simple. So if you given this access, you have provided this role to one uh, team member, it means they have consumed one license. Okay, if you have provided all five, still he will consume one license, because that is per user license basis. So any role or if you have given all the roles, still he will consider one license. So with any module like sourcing, SLP, commerce automation, supply chain collaborations, any module, you will get five license. Okay, and 20 team members roles. So whenever you required license version roles, you have to understand what are the license version, to whom I have to provide this license version access, and how team members roles we will provide. So here you will follow this rule. Okay, so this is your easy to understand and easy to, you'll go click here, you'll see what are the roles. You have separate one more file I have already shared with on documents, you can refer that, you'll at least you'll understand. If I want to, this is the sourcing related role. So if you scroll down, this is all sourcing related, but we have separately have shared one file where you have SLP related roles also. You have contract related roles also. You have guided buying roles also, procurement related roles also. So that roles we already shared with you. Okay. So that file is also, I think here we don't have, but I have shared. I cannot show here directly because I have some my personal data here. Okay. Oh, sorry. So if you see, so all these users license you can refer this sheet also for sourcing we have shared. Now if you have to create some external organization, external commodity code reporting setting, this is important. And this question will be asked in interviews, so you can note it down if you want to separately note it down. Report and settings parameters in workbook enablement, and you are a functional consultant, you should know this point. And Ariba will directly ask to you, and you have to ask to your client. And before that, you have to understand what is your client requirement, and based on your experience, you have to put these parameters and how to set that. If you see, choose base currency. So what is base currency? What is standard currency? Means your client is in US, so you will select the dollars. But if it is in India or any other country, you have maximum 5 to 6 currency given here. So you have to select other. I can select and I'll put here INR. See, I have put it INR here. So if it is different, then I'll put different one. But if it is a USD, I'll select an USD. It is already there, so I'll remove this one. Okay, so this is, you have to decide here what basic currency or your default currency, what default currency you have to set. So I have selected USD, but other than USD, if you want to choose other supported currency, you can add here. So whenever default currency you want to change, even if you haven't mentioned, but default currency you have to mention. that needs to be maintained here. This is optional things, it is not required, like you can configure. But if you want to configure INR, US, Russia dollar, Australian dollar, these things you can also mention here. So along with that, it will show you that as a list, or else we have separate currency conversion configurations, so that also will do. But that currency, whenever we are doing currency, other currency, so that needs to be toggle, means we have to add some conversion rates for that. Then only you will see what is the amount. If it is INR and your client is working in USD, means your supplier is in USD, so he will quote only in USD, but it will convert you for in INR. So that needs to be added in currency conversion. We have to set the rate for that day, and then only we will do that toggle currency. And you will see your client has, your supplier has added $1,000, and that has been converted in INR. So that time you are paying in INR. So whatever amounts it should be there. So that is a currency related rule. Here if you see unit of measure, what is the unit of measure system you are going to? If it is metric system, then you are going to example kilo, like these things. And if you have uh, US system, pound, miles, then you can select that one. But you have option, if you are using gram, kilogram, that is a metric system, so you are going to add that thing. Now this is an important one. When we are doing spend analysis, we are doing reporting, we are doing all the taxation related, what are the spend we have done last year. And every client have their own format. Like if it is in India, we have march end, we everyone know that is our financial year, we are considering financial end. But for other things, like if it is US, and then either other country, so you have to decide what is their financial year, when their financial year is has, to end. So for India it is indicated by -3, means March. So if it is +3, means they are using October month. So that needs to be decided. You have to ask your client what is your financial years will be end. So you can take a month and ask Ariba that their month will be October or March or something else, you can mention here. So if you don't understand what to indicate here, you can just let it blank. But here you can at least mention the month. So Ariba SAP team member, support executive member, they will put here what are the fiscal month we have to mention here. So they will put here. But you should understand what is these things we have to discuss with your client only. And apart from that, there is a this point, these parameters are initially we are going to discuss. So if you see, we have three types of two types of events we are going to create. Either we are going to create quick project, or either we are going to create a full project. For that reason, if you see, what what is the standard value? If your client asks that they want to use only full projects, then you have to put the 0 here in default. I hope it is showing you clearly. If you see here, that value has been added. Are you able to see? Okay, so this is allowable project type, means whether you want to use the quick project format, whether you want to use quick project format, whether you want to both, you have to use. If it is full project only, then you can select one. Whether it is quick project only, then you have to but also full projects can be chosen, then you are going to use 0. So by default that is a quick project, but you have option to select full project also. By default quick, one means only full project, two means only quick project, so there is you don't have option to select the full projects. Three means by default full project, and zero means sorry by default quick project default. And you can also select the full and quick project, so that needs to be configured. So here default value is 0. 0 means you are going to, by default that has selected as a quick project, but you can also create a full project. So that is your configuration. So if you see messaging also, you have set, do you want to compose a message for suppliers, you can also, we have that format here. If you see customization logos also, this message bid is deleted, so you can also modify this text, but in with the help of SAP only. So this is the message. So here you have that options in reporting parameters, when the set to no default message compose message. So we are going to compose our message, so we are not going to use the default one, we want to set our. So this is the option here, you can in any language, like if you have to configure in Brazilian, English, Chinese, Japanese, so whatever the language it is supported. So this is the Chinese simplified, Chinese traditional Danish language, Dutch language. So we have whatever the format is supported, we can configure. So if you have to
So,
configure in English only, yeah,
so yeah, a quick question. What's the difference between quick project and the full project?
we are going to share, tell you when we start the events. So that
Okay.
time we have, so whenever it full projects means we have different tasks we will assign. We can create multiple projects within that one project only. And quick project means only a single standalone event. So there only you have approval for publish, so you don't have any team members, and you just they will review separately. But quick project is standalone event. You cannot manage your team, you cannot assign the tasks, you cannot do some round two for that. So that is a like simple one single standalone event. But in full project with the same sourcing request, you will going to create multiple events also, like one round, two round. Then you are going to create auctions, you are going to discuss commercial. First you are doing to technical and commercials, and then commercial. So again you are doing some round two for that reason, and then you are going to negotiate on auction level. So that is also for possible in full project. So you can create a multiple events. Also you will assign your team members different tasks. You can assign to your to do task, review task, approval task, any documents to be followed. So that need that you are going to work on full project cycle. So we are going to learn these things, don't worry. At least
Okay.
you today we are just understanding what things initially we are going to interact with the client when we start our these things. Like commodity selections also, you have UNSSP or both you want to use. So you can, because Ariba have two types. Okay, so two types means what is that? That is UNSSP means standard Ariba, these things commodity. Okay, and custom means your clients one. So this is two types. Do you want to use only UNSSP? Then you can select. You have to set that things there. I just want to use the UNSSP, I don't want to use the customization. Or both, sometimes client want both Ariba commodity also and their own commodity also. So both, most of the clients using both. Might be your client want, I don't want to use UNSSP, I want my only. So you are going to select whatever the UNSSP you can disable, and you can use your own templates. Okay, so that is in your custom UNSSP. And also you can customize your templates also. So for that reason you have custom commodity code. You can map your unique code for that commodity code name, parent, what's under that, I mean, parent choice. We are going to learn these things when we are going to upload the commodity code master data. That time I'll explain you. Okay, and like this is initial things what we have to configure. And if you see, custom template, are you going to create template? Yes, we want, by default it is showing use standard one, but we want to create a customized template. So we are going to use, yes, I want to create. Agreement accepted, there is a agreement also, you want to configure these things. And like project related restrictions and everything that needs to be that Ariba will explain you. But major things like these things, these are the important one. What is project types, where we are going to select. So if you go one by one, we cannot discuss here, because we were main agenda to discuss the how to create events and now that is thing. But initially what things they, anyway this form will be filled up by you, but that needs to be reviewed by SAP. And anything is pending, you didn't understand what is this company holiday and why it is important. So you can also say no, I don't want to use. What is holiday, we are not going to map these things. Every information is not required. What are the things, these are the important parameters. Approval process related and types event, so these are important parameters. These are optional parameters if you want to select. Okay, skip holidays, project related, email approval, enablement. So we have all these settings. But if anything is like supplierization linkage, how we are going to, so this is here we don't want to discuss that things. Later on we also, you can also use company logo. So if you have client have some logo, so from here also initially what is the format for that company logo and what things you have to, there is a two types. This is a light screen and this is a background of like there is a two types management like dark and white, light and light screen and a dark screen. So if your client want dark one, so in this way it looks. If it is light, then it how it looks like this one. And also there is a like web page so this web page parameters it is already client will using. So what is the status for that? Bidding deleted, rejected, declined, envelope. If you want to customize the, like I already told you, if you want to customize this messaging, like any supplier has declined the bid, any suppliers has cancelled the you have cancelled the events, so what is the default message it will send? So bit deleted, this is the standard message from Ariba it will coming from. So if you want to customize, so here you can customize. So here you have to decide what is the things you have to customize, what is the message you have to type here. So if you see this publish event invitation to participant, so there is a message like here it is, there is a message for publish, republish, event date has been reminders, if it has been event has been paused, what is the message is going to supplier. If it is pre-bid closing time, if it is resume, if event has been invited, log participant, so every message is here. So that we will configure from this sheet only. So that is the like workbook enablement sheet. Here if we have some data collection for sourcing form, so if you have some uh, options like this, these parameters, so like these fields you have to enable or disable or you want to make compulsory, so that reason it is required. And if you have some like custom field, up to 3 custom field it is free. Okay, so with any module, like there is a 3 custom field we can customize. If you want to customize more than 3, then you have to pay some amounts to client. Okay, I think sorry, 5 customized field we have, 1 2 3 4 5. How it looks, if you see color coding is something different, this is a dark gray and this is a light gray. So dark gray, it means 5 fields we have as a free of cost. So if you want to create this customized field, so you can also assign this from, you can decide from here also. And you have this customized header form. So if you have like plant, you haven't, you have like you have to add your plant numbers also. So you can say my, I want to use the plant related on my sourcing header level, these things, or you want on line item also. So we'll discuss this, I'll show you what are the customer and where we have to upload this thing. So Ariba will create initially for you and you are going to just upload the data for them. So these fields we will decide it from here, then when we will do the events. Don't worry, I'll show you how to create this form, customized fields and what it looks. So this is the form for data collection, header related collection, uh, design matrix, sourcing process, data collection, the same. Almost these are the separate file for them. If the data is more than like you have to event rules, and here this is the template related rule. So you don't need to follow this Excel sheet, you can directly create your own template. So this is for template creation. Okay, template data relations, this is a process related, already we are going to directly we are configuring these kind of things. But these three files are important, first three. And many most important is workbook enablement file. So these two might be your case to case you are going to use this second file. This is also case to case, this we are going to directly as a functional you are going to create separately. So this you know to no need to initially how to create. So template we are going to create only for us. Okay, one second, let me log in into system now. Now we'll start with the RFP, how to create the RFP. And one second, oh sorry. But major tasks we will start here. But whenever initially we are doing some activity, that time that Excel sheet is important. Might they will ask you in interview what format or what things you are going to follow for data collection. Just tell them workbook enablement sheet. Just one single word. So that's it. So they will understand you have worked on that file, you know. And if in case they will not ask you in depth for that what data, or else you can tell them whatever the commodity users and all this data we have to follow, we will upload there through that initially. Okay. So here if you see, this is the dashboard. We have recent view. This is a manage our administrative access. From here we have to create any event supplier or these things. We have options here. Contract also you are going to create your guided sourcing event also. And currently we are discussing classic sourcing, and then we are going to switch to guided sourcing. But initially you'll understand what is the classic sourcing, and then we are in depth we are going to be, this is going ahead. Ariba has now, they want users to use this guided sourcing. But first you'll understand what is the classic sourcing, how we are going to create the event. And then you decide whether you want to go for the guided sourcing or whether you want to go for the classic sourcing. So both we are going to learn. Okay. So here we have sourcing project. So whenever you want to create sourcing project, you are coming here. Or else you can also have shortcut, if you want to add here you can also here. But if you don't have common actions here, you can directly create from sourcing project. Here I'm sourcing project. So put the name for the, sorry it is loading, one second. So whatever it is like in asterisk mark, if you see here it is required field. Required field means that is a mandatory, and this description don't have any asterisk mark, so it means non-mandatory fields. So carefully you have to fill up this information. No, the like if you have missed this information, it will not allow you to create the event. So it will ask you to complete this naming, and then we will show. So like, okay. So this is the format, RFP hyphen demo laptop RK, and then we have given the name. If I put the space here, it will give me the error. So no need to add any space after the last letter. So you can make sure you haven't given the any space here. Description we don't need to add here. If you want to add some description you can also, but most of the time we don't want. Copy from projects means any existing project also you can copy, but whenever you are modifying your templates and all these things, so don't go and randomly copy, because might be you have updated your template, you have to use a new version of template. So you will always create your own template, sorry, new projects from here. So if you see here, it is we have full projects and quick project. What is mean by full projects and what is mean by quick project? So quick project is single standalone event where we are going to create either RFP or auction. So we have only publish approval flow for this one. So we are going to monitor manually. We cannot assign tasks. We cannot move. We cannot take a approval process. We don't have, only publish approval we are going to use. So this is a single standalone event. But in full projects we can manage our multiple events. We can create task also, we'll assign the work to other team members also, we'll take approval from them. So everything, so that documents will manage from here. So this is a full project. First we'll understand what is the quick projects and how it looks, because you are going to ultimately you are going to create events. So here I'm going to create a RFP. Okay. So if you see, we have this document type. So here you have to decide what quick projects you have to create. So I have to create RFI or either RFP or auction or forward auction. So here I'm going to create RFP. Okay.
Rajesh, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I had a
Yeah.
quick question over here. So when it comes to the full project, it goes with all kind of things, right? I mean, RFP, RFQ, and everything,
Yes.
whatever the options which are available.
Yes.
So for a quick project, we are selecting only one option.
Yes. That's why it is a single standalone event. But in full projects, you can also create RFP. You can also create multiple RFP in that. And then if you want to create auctions also for that same line items, you can create a separate event for auctions also. So that possibility only we have in full project cycle. Okay. In quick project, only one in single events we are going to create here. So now we are not going to copy this either, we can copy later on, but that is for different events, so that is different separate event. But with the same line item for this same, like might be I have mistakenly created event, I have published, and now this sourcing request I have to use, but that has been cancelled. So you cannot create separate event. But in full project cycle, might be how wrong for in first event, you by mistakenly added some task and all this thing, you can delete, you can let it be, and you can create one more event from that sourcing agent. So that should that feasibility you have in full project. So I'll explain you how to create multiple events later on. First you will understand quick project. First we will going to create RFP, then we are going to create auction, then we are going to create a template for RFP, and then we are going to create a template for auctions also. Then we are going to start with our full project cycle. There we are going to create again RFP, again auction, and then full project template. So this is our agenda. Like we are starting with the quick project for RFP, quick project for sourcing, then their templates, full project, sorry, quick project template for RFP, quick project template for sourcing, sorry, auction, and then cycle for full project. Okay, so that time again we are going to test all the templates, whatever templates we have created in full projects, we are going to learn that. So here most important,
Question,
yeah, yeah,
Rachel.
Arvina.
So, will there be any relation? I mean, this sourcing project need to be associated to the ERP RFQ at this point?
Here,
Yeah.
so this template, for that reason you required a sourcing request template. I'll show you
Okay.
that time. Here we have linkage with the external system.
Okay.
So this system ID, it will by default it will show you. So this is the linkage of your external system. So you will see company code, purchase org, purchase group, payment terms, and how the things if it is integrated. So this is the screen where you are going to see. So that needs to be like later on we are going to see, this is the integrated scenario where you default, you no need to select this external system information, it is default, it will show you when it is integrated module.
I mean, in a real time scenario, there would be some information coming in when we initially start with the sourcing project.
Yes, yes. So this information, external information, we'll see here. So this
I
will auto populated. You no need to change or see to external. It is by default will configure in template level,
Mhm.
so it will automatically fetch here.
Okay.
Okay, or else it is already there. If you created endpoints, and for that reason you have to create sourcing request template. Under that there is a line items mapping for that. So the system details will automatically fetch from there. So if you see this event, if we are here like test project, so this is important one. What is mean by test project? So if I am working on any, consider this is a test, this is not a test site but it is a production site, and you want to test one event in like in production only, because before going to the suppliers you want to test whatever the formula, whatever the things you have created, if they are working or not. So that time you want to test that things, then in production also you can create a test project. So that time you have to select, yes, I'm testing this is the test. So it will not come in your spend analysis reports where you are going to download monthly, quarterly, fortnightly, yearly. So that time this test event, it will not be part of your reporting things. So it will exclude from there, because you have created test if I mark no here in production, means that is your actual production event. So whenever you are going to create event in production, that is you can select no. And these settings, whether it is default it is yes, and this default it is no, these kind of settings we are doing on that workbook enablement sheet. Here it is already by default, these things is here. If you see this smart import excel, it is by default it is not, I haven't touched here, but by default it is selected no. So if you want to make it yes, then you have to say in that workbook enablement sheet, I want this smart import excel sheet should be died by default. So that parameters you are selecting on that workbook enablement, that's why it is important. If you see here currency, it is automatically showing US dollar. So means default currency you have selected as a US dollar, so it will show you here. So these parameters we have to, and this is these are the fields, and you will see region, department, baseline spend, target spend. So This is your fields. If you don't want to use this baseline spend, you have to tell in that excel sheet, that workbook enablement sheet, that I want to use baseline spend as a default, means it is a mandatory fields for us. So you don't have option to select this on template level. This is the workbook enablement level work. So that's why it is important to understand what is workbook enablement sheet. So these are the, so you cannot modify these things, you cannot make it non-mandatory or mandatory. You have to reach out to SAP only for this kind of header. This is called header level configurations. So this is your header related activity. Line item level, we are going to in under like when we start with the template selection, when we enter to event, that we, that level of settings we are going to modify. But this is header level, we cannot modify these settings. You have to reach out to SAP for further configurations. You just need to tell them what is the department master data you have to upload. And by default you can also upload separately. You cannot make this mandatory or non-mandatory. You have to raise a SR, or either that workbook management sheet. Initially you have to decide these things. So in production you are going to select no. If you are doing practice, always make sure it is yes, or in production it is no. But here it is a test site, you can select anything, it doesn't make sense. But when you want to report it, then you have to make it no, because whatever events you have created, that should be considered no, means that is a production event, and that will be reported. Okay, so it, whenever you are fetching your reports, it will come under that no, means production event. So it will show you this is your production event. Smart excel import excel will show directly on like whenever. So here we are not going to select that. Region, now you have a drop down list for your region. So this is your master data which you are going to upload initially, or either you can later on also you will modify this thing. So we have the options in our admin. So we are going to modify this all this data. So this is master data, so you select here, you will see I can select multiple also. So this checkbox, it is showing that you can select the multiple options also. But I have selected India only. I'll click on done. You will see my region is showing India. Now same with the departments also. So you have multiple options to select department, but I have selected IT department, and I'll click on done. Baseline spend I'll mention 0, target saving also 0. Okay, commodity. So this is the department and this is your commodity. So what is the commodity for this laptop, you have to understand, and this is the important one. This region, department, owner, currency, commodity, because these options you required for reporting purpose. Whenever you are facing, you are doing spend analysis, you will do spend analysis on your region, you will do spend analysis on your department level, you will do spend analysis on your owner levels, means project owner, how many users you have. On that basis also you will do the spend analysis. You can also do spend analysis on your commodity level, plant level. You don't have here plant options here, like you don't have plant, but you can modify that custom field. So you can tell them I don't want to use this to target saving and spend baseline spend. You can remove, and instead of that I want plant. So you can mention under department, you will say this is a plant P1 P2, and then you can modify that thing. So you have to reach out to SAP. So now we will go to the commodity. You'll see we have multiple commodity. These are the UNSSP. So if
I
you
have a
see,
question.
yeah,
So all the configuration we are seeing here is done through workbook enablement.
workbook enablement, or either separately you have to raise a SR. If it is initially when you started with the project na, that time there is one like from SAP, one support executive will be provided to you for the time of whenever initial configuration. Once that support has been, before go live, after before go live you have that support. But after go live you want to modify it, or you want to now you have using that system since 1 year, and later on you decide I want to add some fields, or add some here I want to modify this as a like non-mandatory. So that time you have to create a SR for that reason. So SAP will provide you support on that.
So when you say SAP, you are saying you are saying about a consultant, or you are saying about SAP, from which you have buy the licenses, and
Yes,
which.
yes, correct. So there is a service request we also SR we have to raise.
Okay.
Like in ERP you are going to raise a OS, here we are going to
Yes.
create SR, service
Okay.
request.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that there they will review you your inquiry, and they will add or remove these things whenever it is like that. But initially when we have support with the support executive na, that time it is best way to configure all these things. So that's why we have to discuss with client, because the whatever supports you will get real time when they are onboarded as a support executive na, for the time being of your 12 weeks. So you have that integration time week or 12 weeks. So within that 12 weeks you can take a as much as possibility. There is, you are modifying some data, you are going to upload some data, there's some rules, there is a parameters might be disabled, so you can take help from that executive, and you can just tell them, you can make this field as a non-mandatory. Okay.
Okay, and the master database is coming in the pick list is also is coming through an Excel, which is you have shown from pick list, or we can it can be also integrated with SAP with ERP.
No, no, we have this like commodity code. We will upload regions department. I'll show you in master data
Okay.
how to upload. And there is
Okay.
some data which is auto synced, and some data we have to manually upload. So that we have to understand. So what data we can, company code, company like your plant, like your accounting information, those data we can upload manually. And some parts we have auto fetch. So that you have to understand what is some day by day. Ariba means SAP also they are using, introducing what data they are updating, these kind of things. So right now might be I am manually updating the commodity code, but later on might be they will say that we can now a commodity code we can automatically fetch. So that is feasibility. So that's SAP will provide you this information. But where you will get this information, you have to require some accesses, connect access, your like you have buyer access. So there you will get the notification about what master data is introduced, what is the new features coming in Ariba. So that we have to follow, because that commodity that community we have that information, there you have get the notification. So what access you required, what are the DSC access, what is the license access, how we are going to create SR, what roles we required for that, everything we are going to discuss here. So uh, once you going for the any projects, you have that knowledge what things you required and what you have to follow. So one by step by step we are going to discuss everything we are going to discuss. Okay. I'll,
Okay.
I'm going to tell you how to upload this commodity code, master data, everything. Okay, so this is just initial things, don't worry. This is the initial thing, this is the first session. Okay, now you'll see the external system, this you notice like, but here we have this select template. I have selected RFP. If I select auctions, so here I'll get the auction related templates only. So now I have here RFP related templates. So we have multiple templates if you see. So these templates we are going to use. So whatever templates we have modified, we have to understand. So this is the by default template. So what I'll do, I'll select this one. Why? Because I have created multiple templates, but I want to show you what is the default template and how it looks. So we don't have to go into deep. So later on we'll create our own templates. So easy way to understand how to create the event. So best, I'll tell you some key shortcuts, and you can also remember, because might be in interview they'll ask you on first page what you are doing. So on second page what are you doing, what is the second page, what is the third page, what is the fourth page, and what are you doing there. So carefully see, in left side we have five things. First is rules, we have second is team member, suppliers, content, summary. Five things. Now one by one we will see. Rules means we are going to configure some rules, whether it is related to the timing rules, whether it is related with the bidding rules, whether it is related with your currency rules, whether it is related with your project action, market feedback, messaging board. You don't need to know all these things. Just if anyone asks you what you are doing in event, what is the steps you are going to follow, tell them this five one. We have rules, team, suppliers, content, summary. Okay. And going ahead you are going to practice all these things. You also you know this is timing rules, this is bidding rules, and what is rules we have to configure here, and what are the important one, what are we can like skip. or we don't require for RFP. So that is even possible na? So that one by one we are going to discuss every rules. So this is here, it is only you will see 6 to 7 rules. That is not a 6 to 7 rules. We are hided that on template level. We have more than 25 to 30 rules. On that basis we are going to decide the different strategies for this events or any like any things. So why I have selected only 6 to 7 here, because I know this is the requirement for me for these templates. I can create multiple templates based on my requirement. Like I want to create separate template for commodities. I want like I want to for logistics related, I want to make a separate rule. For raw material related, I can make a separate rule. For IT procurement, I can make a separate rules. For general procurement, I can make a separate rules. To case or based on commodity or material also or service based. So you will creating templates based on that rules. You are going to use that, because you cannot depend on only one template. You have to create multiple templates, multiple roles, multiple strategies you have to create. So these are the rules. It is not end here. We have on template, we are going to learn in depth. So basic I'll tell you here, because we are going to create a one event, one cycle we are going to see. So if you see here, there is a timing rules. So here it is showing response start date, means when you want to start your event. So you can select today at like now it is 8:45. So I can say I want to create at 9 p.m. or else 9 p.m. it is fine. So for what duration you want to create, so I want to create for 2 days. So if you click here, you will see minutes, hours, days. So this is your, I want to create for 2 days, so I can select 2 days. Also you'll set the reminders also. If you want to click here, you'll see when you want to send the reminders. I have 2 days of events, so I can say every after 4 hours, start with after 4 hours, and send after every 3 hours. You can send a like reminder to them. Send reminders every 3 hours. So after 3 hours, or I can say after 5 hours, you can send. Start with the 5 hours. First 5 hour it will start. We have 2 days, means almost 48 hours. So every 5 hours it will sending one reminder to update the send last reminder before event closing. You will say before 2 hours left, last reminder should be go at whenever there is a 2 hours left in event. So what is that? Okay. So if you see, I have set 5 hours, 5 hours, and last reminder should be go to the last two hours before the enable due date reminders are selected hours. Because this can be result
I
higher.
I think the first one, start reminders.
Hmm.
Can you go to the edit?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think start remind it says before due date. Like it
Huh.
will start 5 hours before the due date.
Yes. So basically, what happening here? Remind us when we are going to start with the before due date, means it is not like that before due date. So I have publishing event today, and this is only for 2 days. So that's why I have mentioned here hours. But whenever we are going to create RFP, so might be we are giving them time for 7 days, and we are going to start like I have today. I have published that event at 10 o'clock, but it is starting around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So that time they will send one notification. So this is the enable of reminders. So it is not before due date. So whenever it will be start published event, so after 5 years hours it will showing that. So reminders will be start after 5 years when you publish the event. Okay. So it doesn't mean that before due date. Due date means it is not like days 1 days before. So whenever first day will be complete, after 24 hours it will start reminding, and every 1 day it will sending one reminders, and after last reminder before 1 day, last like 5 hours, 2 hours, or these things. So we are sending this information last 2 hours. So this is the reminders where we are like once you publish, then only that reminding it will start with reminding. Before you just in draft, it doesn't mean it will send a reminders to suppliers. How can you send the reminders when your template is in review and or either in draft? You cannot send the reminders. Reminders only start after your event has been published. So it will sending information. Start reminders means from today, so immediately it will send one means invitation, but it will remind them after 24 hours that has been published. So this event has been published and you have to perform on it. So from that day it will start reminding every day. So just we have selected 2 days, so tomorrow it is again they will send one reminders, and last reminder will be sent before 2 hours. So we have selected that reminders. Set a review period. Do you want to create set review periods? So always there is a time before publish. So I have selected publish timing. So 9 p.m. I want to publish. Now it is 8:35. So my event will be starting at 9 p.m. But I have if I what else if I selected tomorrow at 9 p.m. So that time I can also create a preview period. So here it is a showing preview period. It will, because y- supplier cannot be performed there, so supplier cannot submit the price. Supplier just only they will see what are the line items are there, but they cannot respond on that. So for that reason we will set the review period. So also after publishing also we will create the review period. So here I am not going to use the review period. So today only I am going to publish that event at 9 p.m. They can start directly our start the quotation, and we don't want to set any review period to start or before that, because we don't have that much time to start the review time. So here it is showing estimated award date. Award date we don't want to select here. Whenever we will complete our event, might be it will take 2 days, 3 days, sometimes it will close same day. You don't know what is the exact date for that, so that's why we never select this estimated award date from here. Directly we are going to award whenever we want to award. So if you select here, and if that event has not closed on that time, so it will not allow you to modify these things. So that's why it is better you can make it uh, blank. Or you, if you are sure that tomorrow you are going to award, or you know that after 2 days I'm going to award, that time if you are 100% sure, then only you can select. Otherwise let it be blank. What is awarded, award date will show you what is meant here. I'll, when we publish event and we'll do the these things. Now you'll see bidding rules. So if you see allow participant to submit bid by email. Email bidding means supplier can respond from their emails also, but there is a limitations for this. So we cannot use multiple these things. So there is rules. If you click on this I tab, so you'll see when you set yes, participant can submit email, must participant improve bid by, this option should be hidden. Like I think this enable blind bidding, improve time bidding. So this rule is already hidden actually. Must participant improve their bid. So there is a type when you create auction, so that time we are not going to improve bid. So there is a, that is called actually when you are doing auction continuously you are submitting the price. But in RFP only once you are giving the quotation you are not going to repeat changing your price whenever you are collecting quotation. So one time we are submitting, so this is initial quote. So that time we are not going to increase or decrease the price randomly drastically. So that time this rules is by default no. But when it terms of auction, so we are drastically changing, repetitively changing, because we are going to see our rank and times that has been decreasing. So that time these rules we are, so when we complete the sourcing RFP event and auction event, you will see one auction how it looks and how timing has been increasing. That time you will understand what is this rule, and template level we are going to discuss in depth. So here we are not allowing right now on RFP. You can allow them if you want to. So take a quotation, might be your client is, supplier is traveling and you want to collect quotation, you can make it for RFP, it is fine, you can take an email. But right now we are not going to use. You can also test from your side when you create your own template that time you can make it email bidding, and you can try to submit from email and let it me know if you have faced any issue for RFP only, not for auction. Enable scoring. So scoring we are not going to discuss here right now. Require participant give us a decline bid. So if your supplier has declining bid, so you can take a some feedback from them why they have declined or what is the reason behind that. So yes, we are going to collect the decline bid reason. Currency rule, we can create a multi-currency rules also. For that reason we have to set the exchange rate. So here if you see ISD to INR to USD, so these rules, currency exchange we have to set here. So for that reason, if you are selecting multiple, then only we are going to discuss. Right now we are not going to create multi-currency, so that's why I'm selecting no. But going ahead, if you want to use that, I'll tell you how to upload currency exchange rate, and you can create a current multi-currency events also. So that you have to test separately, because each and every have different strategies. We have lot many strategies, we have 48 types auction types we have. So I cannot going to explain everything. So some parts you have to explore. So this kind of currency exchange rate, I'll tell you where to upload. For you, I'll upload some currencies, and then you are going to test this multi-currency and let me know how, what is the your results, and how to convert those things, what is the toggle bidding, how we are going to see that, I'll tell you. But each and every part we are not going to discuss here, because it will take month to learn in depth then, for sourcing only. So we are going to focus major key points. Project owner action, so you don't want to use this enable bidding document URL, so we are setting no. Market feedback, can owner see response before event close? Yes, owner can see. Owner means us. Whenever it is owner means, yes, you. Participants means supplier. Who is participating in this event? Supplier going to participate. So that is a supplier. Now we'll see there is a team member. So these team members are just observer or these things surrogate bidder. So this kind of project owners we will set here. You are the project owner, so by default it will show you. If you want to active observer, means you want to show this event to your team members or something like your manager. They cannot modify anything, they cannot uh, publish it. They can only review this, only they can monitor this event. So for this reason we have different roles here. So that is a project actions, team members. But only we have added one member who can monitor this event apart from us. So we are just showing them, it is a active observer only. So we are not, he is not a part of our team members, he is just the observer, he will just monitor the event, what is going on that event. Okay, so we'll see. So I'll invite the suppliers. You can also export the suppliers list from here. But I want to invite. Invite means I'm adding some suppliers. So based on this, if you see, I have selected region India commodity. This commodity by default it is showing. But based on that, I don't have any suppliers found. So I'll do, I'll remove this one. Okay, and I'll search directly by name. So I can search by taste. Okay, so I'll search here. If you want to create new supplier, you can create from here. Okay, so we'll add, will directly from whatever the existing suppliers it is already added. And
Quick
don't
question,
create, yeah.
Radheshna. What's the difference between create new supplier and create new participant?
Supplier means organization, and participant means the user of that particular organization. So if I creating here, it means I'm creating a organization. And
Okay.
participant means might be in this SK test I have if you see, three users I have. But this, out of these three users I don't have any anyone has been, they are already left the organization. Now I want to create a user for them. So what I'll do, I'll create participant from here. So that's why I just want to tell them, don't create any user or participant here, because we are using SLP. So that's why we are going to use these options. Whenever you are click here, you'll redirect to SLP only. So don't create any event users or participant. And if you want to create that, I'll explain you at the time of SLP, then only you can start. But whenever it is a non-integrated module or without SLP module, that time you have to create a supplier from here with the basic information, means company name, email address, mobile number, contact person name, so address of that organization, that's it. And supplier, it is means participant, it is only name of that person, contact person name, mobile number, email address. And you already created organization here, so under that you are just adding some few information of the participant. So this is organization I have created. Under that I have created these three users. So if you want to create supplier, means you are going to create a organization. Under that you are going to create participant. If you want to create new participant under this organization, you will select that and you can click on new part, create new participant. So here I'll select this one. I select this one. I'll select this one. Also I'll select this one. I want to explain one concept to you guys so you'll understand. Okay, click on OK. You have both side options. You have also option here to click on OK. I selected three suppliers, but for Bajaj I have two. Now I have to tell you few things. What is the that is for your, if you see like Bajaj Limited, I have two things. But how can you assure that this out of these two users who will be responding? Okay, so for that reason we have response team, incumbent team, registration. So incumbent and response team, what is it means? So incumbent means might be this supplier is my legacy supplier. So what I'll do, and these are three are my new suppliers. So what I'll do with my existing supplier, so I'm doing this is a legacy supplier, so I have to set this as an incumbent supplier. Incumbent means your existing supplier. My supplier is like already I have used, I have doing business with these suppliers, but all these three suppliers are new. So whenever organization is doing comparison with their existing supplier, they know this is my existing supplier, they have given me 100 rupees of quote, but might be your new supplier has given you 95, 98. So you will say, oh no, they have given lower than our existing supplier, but still they will always ask you what is the our existing supplier, whatever that it be, might be your ex supplier. So always they will ask you what is the quotation given by my old supplier. So whenever it comes to Ariba, so if you compare, you have to compare with your existing suppliers. First, you have to mark with the incumbent supplier. So it will, in report it will show you incumbent versus new, means new supplier. So what is the incumbent supplier has given 100 rupees and what is new supplier has given might be 95, 90 rupees. So it will incumbent versus, it is easy to understand what is my incumbent supplier. So management will understand, oh this is the incumbent mark, means oh, this is my incumbent supplier, you know. So that's why we have marked this incumbent. Now what is mean by response team? So see, we have Bajaj Limited, we have added, and we have added two users. So this is Mahindra and this is Krunal, we have added, and you have invited both of them. So you have published the event, you have invited both of them, and both they have responded. So how many quotations you got for the Bajaj Limited? There is a two, because there is a separate users you are inviting. Whenever you have such kind of things where your organization name is same and you have multiple users like two, three users or more than one users, if you have for same organization, that time you have to make them as a response team. So here we have that option to incumbent and response team. You just need to click on response team. Now we can say I have invited Bajaj Limited. Now under that Bajaj Limited might be there is a one user or two user. Let it be. Fine. Now anyone can respond and that will be considered. Both of them if even responded, I can get who has been responded earlier and I'll see as a Bajaj Limited. These two people are representing to Bajaj Limited. But for me, that is one only one. So anyone can respond now. Either Magre will respond or either this Krunal has been responding, it will be responding for Bajaj only. Okay. Otherwise, if you haven't selected this as a response team, then both of them can respond you. So might be the same quotation they will responding you, but there are two quotations you will see in this. So that's why we have to mark this as a response team. Hope you understand this concept. Okay, might be these questions they will ask you, what is incumbent, do you know how to set the response team, what is meaning by response team, and where you are going to set these things. So
Quick
at the,
question.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're suggesting if it is coming from the same organization,
Hmm.
in the report you want to flag them as one. It's the response is coming from one organization instead of doing it coming it
Correct,
as two lines.
correct, correct.
Okay.
So if you see, so they will ask you the same questions like where you are going to set this incumbent or all these things. What is where you get the options of that, or else they will ask you what is the response team or what is the incumbent. So whenever you are creating event like for RFP auctions, you are creating RFI, you have all these options are same. Rules, team, supplier, content, summary. Options are same. It doesn't mean there is RFP. We have separate options in auctions. We have separate same auction, same event rules we have. So tell them this is on supplier. When I'm going to invite the suppliers, that time I have this option of incumbent and response team. Tell them you have to select that supplier, you have to click on set and clear, and there is option of incumbent and response team. Explain them what is incumbent. Incumbent is simply legacy supplier or their old supplier or their current supplier. Response team means for the same organization we are adding two users or participants for them, or we have these two different users of that organization, and for I don't know who will be going to be respond to me. So that's time we have to make them as a response team. Okay, so this is the responsible team who will going to respond you on that event. Now we are going to create a content. So this is important. Now if you see, this is the header.
Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you. Can
yeah,
you please go back to the suppliers tab?
yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
So as we are only going through, I mean, right now with only one supplier, then we kept that one supplier in the incumbent. For example, as we are sourcing the same item from like, for example, like test supplier and Bajaj Limited as well,
Hmm.
as we kept them as a backup, then we should have to give the incumbent option yes to all of them, right?
Yes, yes, yes. These are all, if you're all that these are your existing suppliers, then you can mark them incumbent. Or it is not like if it is incumbent and you know that things, and you don't mark them as an incumbent also. It is not required because already you know the buyer also know. But whenever in terms of comparison with your new suppliers you have invited, that time make sure you are adding them as an incumbent, because you should know what is your legacy supplier has responded and how new supplier has responded. So I'll tell you, when we publish the report, when we see the reports na, on once completed, we'll see it will show you the incumbent versus new supplier. So I'll tell you where why it is required and how you are going to see that. Okay, we'll show you at the time of once we complete the event na, that time we'll see. This is the
Yeah,
content.
absolutely.
So this is the introduction, commercial terms, pricing terms. So this is the header. Actually we'll create on template level. So first I'll create one line item. So I'm pricing, click on add line item. So line item means whatever the items you want to procure. So I'll add here Dell laptop. You have to make sure here you are going to specify the description of that particular material. But because you know what is this laptop and now you have to procure that, so here you have to mention the description of that. What is the requirement? So you want 15-inch of laptop, correct? So this is the size of that laptop. So what is the hard disk requirement of that laptop? So it is might be it is 1 TB of hard disk. What is the RAM of that laptop? So you are selecting, you are adding here, this is a 16 GB, oh sorry, 16 GB RAM. Anything else it is here, like you have graphics card, any requirement, whatever the specification you required, you have to mention here for that particular material. So supplier will understand, oh, this is a 15-inch, this is a 1 TB hard disk RAM. Also you can also here also you can Dell laptop of 15-inch 1 TB, here also in description also. But here you have some limitations of character, so you cannot make all the information here in this. So you have option in description to make the specification separately here. And if it is a single line item and you have like minimum character limited, so that time if it is possible to add, you can add also here. But you have separate option to mention the specification here. Okay, then you have to select this category commodity. This is a region again for that particular because why we have selected on header level for that event we have selected. Again we have to select this for laptop also because this is a line item level commodity code, and you have access control. We are not going to any team member, we are not going to provide the access. Additional editor group, we are not going to allow anyone to edit this line item, we are only editing. Response required, now how it is this one? Yes, no. If you want to make mandatory, do you want to make it mandatory to respond on Dell laptop, then you can make yes. So every supplier needs to respond on this Dell laptop. But might be one supplier has providing Dell laptop, another supplier is providing Apple laptop, third supplier is providing Samsung laptop, and he don't have this material, he don't have this module. So what you have to do? So make sure this should be no non-mandatory. Let supplier decide to whom they want to provide the quotation. If you make mandatory, then everyone have to respond on that, and that might be wrong bid because supplier don't want to provide that material, and you are forcefully you are asking them to respond on this thing. So make sure if it is whether you want to make it mandatory or non-mandatory, case to case it is depend. But as of now we are making as a no. Unit bidding and extended bidding means I have 10 quantity. So what I'm doing, I'm per unit bidding means I have to submit for one line item, one quantity, whatever the price, or else you have to submit for all the 10 units. So all these 10 units supplier will put the pricing, so you'll not get the per unit bidding for that. So always we are collecting price for one line item or one laptop. It will system will automatically calculate. Ceiling price, initial price will be filled up by supplier. Historical price, if you have any historical price where you have might be you have procured this material in past, so historical price you can mention also here. But there is a strategy to use the historical price. We will discuss in auction what is the strategy to use historical price and why it is important. Here we have quantity. If you click here for each, you will see unit of measure. You have all the unit of measures whatever you have updated, whether it is customized one or whether it is Ariba standard one, still you are going to select from here. So you have to click here. You will see extended price, total cost saving. So this is the formula of that particular thing. So you cannot modify it from here. If you want to modify, we have separate sections. Now you will see I have invited these three suppliers here. If I want to remove the supplier from this event, like for this line item, also I can remove from here. But I want all three should be participate. Let them decide whether they want to put the pricing or for this. So I have created one line item for Dell laptop. So second we will create for Samsung laptop. I'll put specification here. So this specification I have maintained here. Now if you see under this pricing only I'm creating my line items. So that's why we have to every time we are selecting these things and all these things, even you have to add out of this pricing. If you want to create, then you can select add after, so it will create a fourth line. But I want under this only. So what I'll do, I'll select this one, I'll create under 3.2 only. I am going to create this one about the Samsung laptop. I'll put the specification here. So this should be always create under the commercial thing, pricing thing. Here I'll select the commodity region for this one, per unit bidding. I'll select 10 quantity. Historical price I don't have for this one. We will discuss the strategy or concept of historical price later on. Okay, Bajaj Limited, three suppliers we have invited. Make sure we have done. You will see I have created these two line items here. Now we are going to publish this event. We'll publish this event, but we're not going to respond. We have to see how time has been clicking, how supplier is showing this one, everything, or you want to submit these things, we will see. But for today, it is only for 2 hour sessions going ahead. So if you see 1 minute is remaining and we have selected 2 days of for this event, so don't worry, it is not going to expire tomorrow. So we have 2 days it is expiring on like next week it is Monday it is expiring. But we will how to reopen this event, and also we are going to discuss these things. So here today only we have seen how to create event, but how to respond from we are getting from the suppliers, what roles required to respond on behalf of suppliers. So we are going to discuss that. But for that reason now, still here, any issue? Okay, so you'll see here, this is the overview, whatever the events you have created. So overview, document id, it is by default Ariba has generated this document id, name, event type, test project, whether it is commodity, region, whatever the regions you have selected, baseline spend, target saving. You will see whatever the rules you have selected. Event duration is 2 days, automatic on 21st of January it is going to expire at 9 p.m. So reminders also we have selected, bidding rules also we have selected, market feedback. So everything we have here. Here we have that content, if you see. So here it is comparison sheet also. Whenever supplier will put the price, you will see on all three suppliers will show you here when they responded. You will see the data real time, like you have all the suppliers can see same screen. So they will see the quantity for that quantity, 10 quantity, no one can modify these things. We have added this 10 quantity, only we have options to change these things. Supplier no need to, supplier just need to submit the price of that particular things. They will review this description, they will check this specification of that material. So everything we are going to mention, what is the delivery expected date, what is the like transportation requirement, whether it is specification related, so everything. So this information will supplier will see, they will respond here, and then we will do the further comparison and all these things. We will see how many suppliers we have invited, any supplier has been, if you see, there is a like status here, it is nothing, we haven't seen anyone participated, then it will show participated. Whenever it will, all the status we can see here. Right now it is no status, it is open for 1 day to 23 hours now. And you have team members who have, we have added this as an active observer, he cannot modify it, he cannot do anything, only we are going to report. So you're reporting here also here. So here I just told you incumbent, if you see, and leading. So might be your leading means who has given the best price, or incumbent one. So if your might be leading versus incumbent, if your new supplier has given you best price, and what is your incumbent supplier has given you price, so you will see here what is the difference in their price. Also your incumbent supplier is also here, whatever the suppliers we have invited here, how many has responded, what are the lots you have created, what is the surrogate bidder response, what is mean by surrogate bidder. We are going to one by one we are going to learn about these things. So today still here only we have things, further things we are going to discuss in next week, following our sessions like 7 to 9. So only 2 hour sessions every week we are going to conduct. Might be it will take 2 3 weeks extra, but this is the time where we are going to discuss. Okay,
So, what
anyone?
is the purpose of region field? What where we're using it, and can it be it in this way that only the supplier of that region are invited in that way?
So this region only you are asking, na?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
So this region is might be your, so this material you are buying for some region also, or some plant also. So that's why we are selecting here, and it is non-mandatory. You can also make it non-mandatory. But when in terms of reporting, and when in terms of like spend analysis, right? Going ahead, you are going to do the spend analysis also. So based on region like India, US, Middle East. So you'll
Mm,
see how many spend you have. Like in India, you have last year you have procured for 1 lakh crore rupees of spend, for two
mm,
lakhs, 3 lakhs. So it will gives you the uh, analysis of that particular region, analysis for that particular plant, department, user specific, commodity perspective. So I have selected commodity. So what it means, so I have spent 1 lakh rupees on last year, I have procured to IT related department, 1 lakh rupees spent on my this commodity level. So this will give you the picture of how many spend you have did on this kind of things. So that is why it is important one also, because client your client should know how many, because any way any organization will ask you these questions, How will I get idea about what is the my plant level spend, what is my user level spend, what is my commodity level spend, what is my region level spend? How you are going to discuss these things? So make sure this should be selected properly, then
Yes.
only it will come under this reporting. If you selected wrong and you want that information should be captured here, it is not possible. You have to select proper information, you will get the proper result. Clear?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone have any issue? We are going to stop here. So next week, till the time I'll pause this event. This is the you have to click on action, pause, extend timing, reduce time, stop event, cancel event. You will see participant, Excel information. So here I'm going to pause this event. I don't want to respond on this event. So next week we are going to again resume this event and we'll participate in that. So we'll resume our event and we'll start responding. So till the time this event will be paused. Okay. So how many of you have like any issue or any doubt? If you have already enrolled for the these things, take a like this thing app access for this Ariba, access for Drive, and if you want to create any event, till here you can create event. Try it, let it be wrong, let me know in next week you have tried and you have failed or something you have created successfully. At least you can try it. If you have access for this one, go ahead and start your practicing parallelly. Otherwise you will lose these things. You have to go recordings, you have to see this and again repeatedly you are wasting time. Rather than you can start practicing. Pravina, you have access for these things, I think. You correct?
Yes, yes, Radhesham. I'm
Okay.
planning to start. Yeah.
Yes, you can start because
Pravina and
yeah,
Mini
mini I think.
and few more are already been registered,
Okay.
re-enrolled, so they are having
Yes.
the access. So not an issue. So if any one of you guys are having any issues while practicing, also you can approach me whenever is needed. I'll be there to help you out. Yeah, you
Yes,
guys are having my number also.
I don't have access to the drive.
That will be created and given out because today was the first session, right, Sahil? So
Okay,
you have also been enrolled, right? So by tomorrow, we are going to add these recordings plus we are going to upload the documents, the relevant documents for this one. And as the sessions are progressing, we are going to add up a few more documents as the sessions are going on. Okay, so that we can do it. And every support will be there. We will be having a proper team for this one. We have a basis personnel, we have administrative persons. So every contact will be given to you. So Netra will be there to help you out for the issues with respect to your access part, and Dipali is there who is more responsible to share the recordings and let you browse everything is in a proper shape and properly we have shared everything with you guys. So our team is going to help you out. So all those details will be shared to you by tomorrow, Sahil. And to
okay,
even
okay.
those who are
Thank you.
already been registered. Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think Pravina have that things like what documents we have shared and what
Yes,
in
yes,
what
she is
manners.
having, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she
She's
knows
very
the
specific on
things.
that one.
We never hide anything.
Radhesham,
That's
I
right.
think I did ask in my class yesterday to Raj. There are few more. I'm
Yeah,
working with him
yeah.
separately.
Yes, yes, sure, sure, no
Thank you.
problem. You can WhatsApp me. You can take my number, everyone.
I
So
put
if
in
anything you
the
need,
message yesterday, Raj.
I
I
got
think you.
your message. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. I'm working on
Sure.
it. Thank you so much.
And Mini,
Great.
you have shared your CV also. I have given some points. Have you updated that thing? Let me
Yes,
stop
yes,
here.
yes.
No, I
No, no.
didn't get
I'm
it.
going to. I'm